So on this channel, I reviewed another sleep mask and it's called the Manta sleep mask. And I was very critical of it because it wasn't really good for side sleeping and I sleep on my side quite a lot. So I never used it, I hated it. And I ended up buying the more expensive Manta Sleep Pro mask, which does have support for the sides. And this has been my go-to ever since. And I love this so much. It is so essential for a good night's sleep. Unfortunately, all of my various locations where I sleep, let's say hotels, my home, my apartment, there's always some light leakage. It's always bleeding into the room, especially in the city. It's just very, very annoying. And being able to have pure darkness, it really has increased my quality of sleep. And I can't express enough how much of this little, like on a relatively small scale, in terms of the cost, this is definitely worth it. You know, if you get sleeping pills or have to get hypertension from poor sleep habits, I definitely think that getting a good night's rest of sleep is definitely worth whatever cost this little device is. Now, they reached out to me, this SideSleeperZ sleep mask, and they said that this would be a really good competitor to the very expensive Manta Sleep Pro. I think this is not very accessible for a lot of people, given how expensive it is. Now, one thing I want to call out in terms of the features is that this is sleep-proof, better REM support, improved recovery, which I do agree, these definitely help. It's a tailored fit, zero irritation, and zero lightness. So it has this thing called an ultrasonic welded stretch fabric, has breathable foam, seamless edge, anti-slip, 1mm micro Velcro, flexible nose guard. Now overall, this has been very good, but I'm excited to compare it with this one. So let's find out how it works. Oh, wow. So we got this nice little package over here. And similarly, we get a mesh. Maybe this is good for washing, transportation. Typically, you would throw your sleep mask in here and then throw it in the washer and it helps protect it. Okay, very different so far. You know, compared side by side, if you were to compare the two, this one is certainly a lot bigger, the SleepZ Edge. Okay, let's just put it on and see if it works right on. I guess I have to Velcro up here. Now this has two straps. Whoa, all right. This is very impressive. Holy, I cannot see anything. Oh my goodness. Wow, okay. I think this is already much better than the Manta Sleep Mask. So it has zero pressure on your eyes, which is very important. I cannot see anything. Like there's the studio lights that are on me right now. And typically with the Manta Sleep Mask, I would still have some leakage near the nose and it would be very hard to configure it. But this out of the box feels very comfortable. Oh my goodness. I'm very impressed with how good this is. I can blink my eyes, my eyelashes are not touching. The nose over here feels perfect. Wow, okay. And yeah, I can tell this is very thin on the side. So, all right, let's go to the bedroom. Let's compare this in an actual sleep situation. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna wear this for about a week and I'll give you my honest review near the end of this.
All right, first I'm going to demonstrate that the Manta Sleep Mask, the original one, is really bad for side sleeping. I'm going to put it on. And as I sleep on the side over here, I can feel the edge of the circular pads just digging into my eyes. So it is very uncomfortable and I do not recommend this particular one. So next we have the Manta Pro Mask, and this one is a lot better. It has side edges over here, so it's easier to lie down with. So I put it on and it's very comfortable. So that's good. So now let's try the SideSleeperZ. Now this one is really cool. As I said before, it fits really nice, blocks all the light unlike the other one, and it gives you a lot of options on where to put the straps. You can put it high, you can put it low. I'll explain that a little bit later, but this is extremely comfortable and I sleep on the side, absolutely perfect. So yeah, I've been sleeping with this mask for about the past couple of weeks and I must admit it is very comfortable, and I would say I feel it less on the side than even the Manta Pro mask. So this definitely works very well. Now, one of the things I do want to try is sleeping with this mask with a CPAP mask, a full face one. So I have this one right here, and let's make sure I'm still in the frame. So essentially it was the same experience as the Manta Sleep Mask Pro. I was able to put on my mask and then overlay the sleeping mask, and I had no issues. Now with both versions, they both leak the same amount of light. That's just the nature of this full mask. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any type of mask on the market that would allow for complete light blockage and along have the CPAP mask. Obviously, a small population of people have this condition, sleep apnea, so this is not a valid concern for most people, but overall, it does work very well. I'm still able to use my CPAP therapy and still have pretty good lights out. So with putting on the mask, you have lots of options. You can adjust the Velcro here. You can take that on and off. That allows you to customize it as you wish. And you obviously have the dual strap. So what I can do is I can put it on like this, and then I can adjust it as I see fit. So I can have this higher, lower, depending on where your ears are, if you have hair and stuff like that. This just makes it a lot more customizable. Another thing I like about this design is that there are no cups to play around with. What I found annoying with the Manta Sleep Mask was that you had these cups and you had to put them in the perfect place, and it required some coordination, especially if you want to wash this. On these ones here, it's a lot less maintenance. All you have to do is put on the mask, and if you want to wash it, you don't have to worry about taking off cups and stuff. So over here, you can see I have 4 different type of sleep masks, and let's start with the one that is absolutely worst. And this is the type of sleep mask you would get off, let's say, Amazon. It's really cheap, and you can see that it completely falls apart. It's just really disgusting. I really don't recommend buying this type of mask. It's just going to be a waste of money. I definitely recommend buying something with much better stitching. As you can see on the side sleeper, there is a lot better stitching over here. It's definitely not going to fray out like this one over here. You don't have to use cups, unlike the other one here. They do have an optional add-on for cups, but I find that the indent for the eyes are more than sufficient, and I really like the fact that this blocks out all the light, whereas the Manta Sleep Mask doesn't do that great of a job. Another difference between the SideSleeperZ and the other mask is the fact that it has 2 straps. All of these have 1 strap, so you get less customization in terms of how you want to secure the mask on your face. This one is a lot more flexible, the SideSleeper one, because depending on where your ears are, what kind of hair you're wearing, it gives you a lot more flexibility. Not to mention, of course, this is also very flexible. You can adjust this as you wish to get the maximum comfort. Whereas the Manta Sleep Mask rely on the cups to actually be moved around in order to get that same type of comfort. I would argue that this one is much easier to use. It's just a lot more intuitive. Now, in terms of the design, I really like the fact that this is very flat. It doesn't take a lot of space, but they're all pretty much small. So it's not going to be that difficult to put this into your carry-on if you go traveling. Now, one thing I do like about the SideSleeperZ is that they include accessories that make it very easy to wash it. This is something that you would typically get from the Manta Sleep Mask 2. Let me show you how they work. So here are the 2 accessories. You can see we have a sleeping bag and we have a nice traveling case. So this keeps it nice and clean. You don't have to have your sleeping mask touch other things in your bag. This is a nice addition. And with the Manta Sleep Mask, you only get the washing bag like this one over here, the mesh bag. You don't get a nice fully covered carrying case like this one over here. Now for the straps, the material is anti-slip. That I found that it was very comfortable. Another thing I want to call out is that the foam is very breathable. I didn't have any issues with it overheating my face or anything like that. So I have to say this design really does give you a tailored fit, and I definitely recommend it. Overall, I have to say this is a worthy investment, especially at the price point compared to some of the competitors out there. I do think that this is going to last you a very long time. It is very durable. Definitely very customizable, and I love the fact that it just works out of the box. You just put it on your face and it blocks out all the light. You don't have to rely on sleeping pills or anything like that. Blocking out the light has been scientifically proven to help you have a deeper sleep and feel more rested when you wake up. So this is definitely going to boost all areas of your life. I definitely think you should check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. Go ahead and improve your sleep. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.